David MacKinnon.
David MacKinnon.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
Gosuke Katoh.
Gosuke Katoh.
レフトへ伸びていくか、下がって、蹴られた、見上げた、デビッド・マキノン。
Welcome to Pacific Swings. I'm Jasper Spanjaart.
I'm David MacKinnon. Today we're talking to someone who's lived everyone's baseball dream. Got to the show, went to Japan, played in the NPB, played in the two countries where he's lived, and then retired at 30. So basically we're the same person, minus the fact that he got drafted like 1,000 spots before me. And now he's in the MLB front office, though.
Pretty wild story. Gosuke Katoh recently retired from professional baseball, just like David, and he was the first ever player to be drafted by both NPB and MLB. He was drafted by the Yankees in the second round of 2013 MLB Draft and made his MLB debut with Toronto before setting NPB rookie records with the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters.
Now he's starting a completely new chapter, joining the Toronto Blue Jays front office. Gosuke, congratulations on an incredible career, and welcome to Pacific Swings.
Thank you. Congrats on your incredible career too.
Hey, dude, we were good at one point. Now we're kind of not as good.
Here we are.
I think we could do it. We're just old now, you know.
Yeah, it's we're on to bigger and better things. Let's give it that way.
I mean, this is like we're all 30 years old and you two are retired.
Yeah, but you're in the prime of your career.
I'm still in the prime of my career. Yeah,
we're like the homeless guys now. Like they just don't want us anymore, you know.
So, Gosuke, let's start with your career path because it's honestly one of the most unique in baseball history. Like, I say that and I mean it because you were born in the US, you split your youth between Japan and the US, right? You're drafted by the Yankees, as I just said, worked your way through that system, and eventually made it to the majors with Toronto. Played in Japan, drafted by the NPB. So drafted twice. Not a lot of people can say that, but how do you summarize that journey?
Yeah, I think if you just look at my baseball reference, there's not going to be a lot of, standout numbers, but I do take pride in kind of the journey and then the experiences that I got from that, and also the people that I met from that and the connections I made. And I think that's something that'll just live on forever, and it'll help me in whatever I choose to do next. It's currently helping me in the role that I am today. And yeah, that's something I'm very thankful for, and I take pride in that as well.
I think a big thing too with Gosuke is just how everyone likes him. All right, so obviously you keep jobs when everyone likes you, right? And he does things good, he does things really well on the baseball field. He can play multiple positions in the infield. He can throw in the outfield, puts together good at bats all the time. So the numbers might not always jump out off the page. I think I was pretty similar to where the numbers weren't always jumping out. He played way more places on the field, though. That definitely helps. But when you're now evaluating players in a front office role, what do you look for? Maybe other people might miss. You've played for a while now. Is there something that you feel like as a player that you look for?
I do think that just being in the game for so long, and obviously looking at a lot of minor league players, because I did play a lot of minor league games. It's for me, I believe it is really hard to still evaluate minor league players, but since I've just watched so many games, I do think for a first year guy, I have a pretty good idea of what I guess league average is. And I think that's kind of one of the small benefits of playing 10 years in the minor leagues. But I also do think that playing in Japan helped me kind of understand that there's different ways to play the game. And I do think that's kind of helped me in this role right now.
I mean, when you talk about that minor league career, I mean, both of you are guys who've just had to grind through that minor league system to try and earn a shot at playing in the majors. But I feel both of you can be described as characters that are willing to do that and willing to go the extra mile and just keep pursuing a dream. But again, there's a lot of guys that don't make it. But would you say, Gosuke, there's sort of one trait that you can look at yourself that's what I had, and that's what got me to playing at an MLB level?
Yeah, I do think it's just a lot of I don't really necessarily think that I got so good that I got to the big leagues. I do think that the game kind of evolved into a game where a skill set like mine became valuable, which was kind of just like getting on base, being like a utility guy. And other than that, like I just survived until that game came to me, which was, a long time. And I do think that just keep going at it, like just never giving up. That was kind of the thing that I kept telling myself. And yeah, the game kind of just came to me, I think.
When you're sort of now in this role, if a front office role and you're evaluating players, is there a tendency you think for you to sort of go, I'm looking for someone like me, someone who would play the game like yourself, or is it sort of, are you sort of aware of your own bias in that? I'm just curious.
Well, I do think that I do find myself trying to find players that I would have liked to be, I guess, like
Okay.
more of like power hitters like Mac. Like that's kind of like that's kind of you're hitting bombs at Seibu Dome.
That's a big part. That's a big
part, man. Like that, you gotta be a power hitter. But anyways, yeah. Just looking at our team though, like we're kind of very different, and we're a top 5 payroll. Everyone knows that, but we also strike out the least, and we have the most sack butts in the league. That's kind of like an archetype, I believe, that hasn't been tested out yet in the big leagues. Obviously, we see the Yankees and the Dodgers, like they have high slug, they have low contact, really good starting pitchers, and we're kind of like the opposite of that. So I do think that, like in our scouting, it's kind of like we do things a little differently, I believe. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, I've talked to Toronto guys, and they said the same thing. They're like, you'd be a good fit here. I just don't know if that will happen because the age and stuff and all that, and just spots. There's just all the high contact rate. That's like what they look for now. Well, I've always been a firm believer in like, if you can hit the ball forward a couple more times every year, you're just bound to get more hits, I think the league average for balls in play is like 290 or something. So you round that up 3 out of 10 times, you strike out 10 less times, you're getting 3 more hits. So I think it's a good style. But I have a question for you, and kind of for me too, I guess. But gonna sound weird. You retired at 30 and joined a front office. I also retired at 30. Are we smart, or did we both give up too early?
How can you just say that with a straight face, man? I mean, just from looking from my perspective, and I feel like all the viewers too, at least I hope your viewers view you this way. Going from the States to Japan, that is a massive, not just a career choice, but like a life choice. And it's a tough choice to make. You're kind of just like jumping into an entirely different world that you would have never thought you would have been. And then on top of that, you went to Korea afterwards. So like, I don't know if you think you gave up early. Like, I don't think that's how you think. I definitely don't think that way. Yeah.
I was mentally exhausted, I think, at that point. So for me, it was like, unless I could come back and have a job in AAA, or I could get another job overseas in Korea or Japan, that was kind of it for me. It was like one or the other. If I get AAA or the big leagues, or I can stay over in Asia, I'll for sure do it. But I'm not going back to the grind, dude. I was just mentally exhausted after those 2 years.
Yeah. And I do think that, like, I don't know if you feel this way, but I felt like I learned the most out of baseball as a player. I thought I got the most out of it. Like, we both went through almost like very similar like career paths. Like, we learned a lot in the minor leagues, not just playing baseball, but like off the field stuff. Got to the big leagues, went to Japan, learned there. You went to Korea afterwards. And I don't know if you have any like thoughts on staying in baseball, but I think there's another aspect of coaching or being in the front office where you learn more than you learned as a player. It's just a totally different viewpoint. So I do think it's pretty selfish to just look at like your playing career. You just got to look at like your baseball career. And that's kind of how I viewed it. In the grand scheme of things, my playing career is going to be much shorter than my entire baseball career, or at least I hope so. And that's kind of just like the journey that we've walked.
Yeah, I mean, I want to at some point get into pro ball, whether it's coaching or front office stuff. That's my next step. I just wanted to stay home this year and be with my family, who I didn't get to see as much the last couple of years, just traveling overseas. So that's my next step for sure. For me, I have no regrets. Sometimes I think I'm like, wish I got the opportunity, because I didn't play myself out of baseball. It's not like I was so bad. I just can't do it anymore. It was more just like, I wish I had the opportunity, like, hey, let's go to AAA and see what happens. Like, I wish I had one more opportunity to see what happened, but baseball's just changed now. They have pretty much 100 less spots per organization in the minors. So those spots just aren't going to specifically position players that are older. They'll sign some pitchers, it seems like, that are a little older. The market for older position players just isn't really there like it used to be. And totally accept it now. When it was happening in, like, I don't know, February, March, I was like, come on, like, what's going on? Now I get it. It stinks, but it is what it is. But definitely no regrets. I thought I had a great career. You had an unbelievable career. We worked through it. I feel like guys like us can bring the most to, say, an organization because of how much we're forced to learn in order to survive.
This is a pretty deep conversation, 12 minutes in. Congratulations, guys. That's good. Let's talk about something we alluded to in the intro. You're the first to be drafted both in the MLB and in the NPB. But the show's called Pacific Swings for a reason, so we don't care about being drafted by the Yankees. We care about being drafted by the Fighters. What's that like for you, though? Because it's something we've never heard of. In our research, David's research, we couldn't find any.
I researched super hard. I write this script every single time, and then I research.
You couldn't find anything, right? You just
I was Google translating Wikipedia pages, and dude, it was a tough.
But it's historic. But I'm curious to see how you sort of find that out. How does that even happen? Did you have to declare that you were eligible for that draft? Do the Fighters just randomly take you and hope you sign a deal with them, or what was that sort of like?
Yeah, it was basically like they drafted me, and they were kind of just hoping that I would sign with them. I did hear that during the summer that there was some interest in drafting me as a player in Japan, but I just thought those were just rumors. And I do think that I was the first player ever, maybe in ever in sports, to be sleeping when I was drafted. Like, because the draft I was in San Diego, and the draft is in October in Japan in the off season. And just because of like the time change, I got drafted at 3 a.m. So I woke up and then I was drafted. So I do think I was the first person ever to be sleeping while being drafted.
I mean, that's the stories we need on this podcast. But what's that like, waking up, though, and finding out that, the Nippon-Ham Fighters have taken you?
I mean, as anyone would probably imagine, like, just shocked, very surprised, and obviously, like, very honored as well, just because I guess the MLB draft is a lot smaller now, too. But in Japan, it's much, much smaller. So, like, if you take a player and they don't sign with the team, that has a big effect on the future. So they kind of took a chance on me. But yeah, shocked, surprised, and honored was.
There's only 6 rounds in the Japanese draft, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's like 6, and then after that, there's a couple more rounds. But very small draft.
It's a very small draft, and it's nothing like. I mean, David was drafted in the 32nd round of the draft. So imagine that, like the difference, sort of in rounded systems, and the depth of the draft too. It's just.
Yeah. You wouldn't even be drafted today, man.
I know. All right, let me just go off for a second. Dude, I hit 360 in college, and I could not get drafted my junior year. So I guess for us, it's just like you're kind of playing for your life from the get-go, You're just like, if I have a bad month, there's like no way I'm going to survive this. And then I remember like not even a wake-up call, but one of the guys that got drafted, he's my roommate in short season. He got released. Our first spring training back in 2018, we got drafted in 2017. He was already released. And I was like, whoa, that was quick. They were just, it's crazy. It's crazy. If you don't put up numbers as like a guy that they didn't hand a lot of money to, you don't have much leash,
Mm-hmm.
No,
So
I mean, yeah, I mean, it's and again, it speaks testament though, Dave. We gave you crap on this, but I give you a lot of crap on this podcast.
everyone
And
does.
you do deserve it. But I mean,
Yeah.
kudos for making it, dude.
Yeah. I know, right? Did pretty good.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah,
It's pretty
still
good.
here.
I'm still proud of it. You guys can talk that smack, but let me tell you, it was awesome. I'm super proud of it, and
Yeah.
I appreciate that from both of you. But it's crazy looking back on it now that it's over. I mean, my baseball career is not over because I'm going to keep doing the coaching and stuff like that. But yeah, if Toronto needs some help,
Gosuke, listen. Well, again, David went to your Wikipedia page and found some very interesting nuggets. One of them being that you set a rookie record for
games
10
with a hit.
consecutive games with a hit to start your NPB career. That was the longest by a rookie since the MLB Draft began in 1966. So another bit of history there. You're a very historic player. But just tell me about that time, just adjusting to the MPB, adjusting to Japan, and how different was it from everything you knew in the States?
Yeah, like I've actually been watching Fighters games since I was little, like early 2000s when they were winning the Japan series. I was watching those games, and always kept up with the league throughout my entire life, I guess. So I kind of knew the league, but once I went there, it was nothing like how I thought it would be. At first, I felt really out of place, and I can't even imagine like what all the foreigners think. But there was a very steep learning curve. It's not just like on-field stuff, also off-field stuff. The on-field stuff is a lot different than the big leagues, and just adjusting to that, like the word adjust is going to come up a lot in this podcast, I feel like. But that is basically the theme of just trying to adjust to everything on and off the field in Japan.
I mean, it's very interesting when you say that you've watched that league for such a long time and you still had to go through that. What was the biggest surprise, I guess? Because you're a fan of the team, it's even better. You get to go to play for your favorite team. Pretty cool. What was it that really surprised you in the beginning?
I think like the thing that really surprised me was like, I know the language, I know part of the culture, obviously, but I was kind of surprised that I didn't really like assimilate with the culture or much of the team at first at all. I couldn't really relate with the players in the beginning. I would go out to like the grocery store and like I would have trouble like buying stuff just because I don't really know like Japanese groceries. But even if I like, even though I can read and like I understand like everything in Japan, like those were like the little things that really got to me.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, I had set a pretty high bar for like where I would be in terms of off the field stuff. Like I'm gonna go to Japan. I've lived there for a little bit. I know the language. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna buy groceries how I always do, and I couldn't even do that. So that's the thing that really surprised me, I guess. I don't know if surprise is the right word, but like I was disappointed in myself for sure.
I was thinking too, just like, I mean, at least they know, like we come in, it's just like, well, those guys don't know anything, It's like those guys, they're the foreigners. Like you come in and like technically you're in a weird situation where like you know the language, you know how to read. Like to me, it just looks like symbols. I know my name, I know a couple guys' names, like that's about it. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm batting fifth today. Yep, that's about all I got. But for you, yeah, I can totally see where it's like kind of weird because you want to fit in, but you don't know exactly how everything goes. But they probably expect you, as the coaching staff, probably expect you to fit in a little bit better than they might expect me to fit in. So yeah, I can't imagine that might even feel at the beginning.
Yeah, no, like I do remember like you've probably met a couple guys that spoke Spanish. They're from Miami. And they also speak English. There's a lot of players like that in the minor leagues and the big leagues too. But I talked to one of the guys and I was like, hey man, like you speak Spanish, you speak English, like you can be in both of those groups. Like, what's that like? And he was like, hey man, like this is tough. Like I don't fit in like either group. And that actually kind of like stuck with me. And that's how I felt at first. But like, this was, when I say first, this is like the first week of spring training. It's not like the full season. So I do think that the team was super open to what I was feeling, what I felt, what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do. And they were very open to that. And they supported me in ways that I would have never imagined.
But how did the team help you? Were there anything concretely that really, really helped you in that time?
Yeah, there were times when I actually was like, man, like I wish I was like Mac. Like I wish I had no idea what NPB was. I wish I had no idea what Japan was, but I can't go back and change that. But actually the biggest thing for me, I think, was obviously like the teammates were great. Like we know that, but the team supported me by, there were like there were a lot of interpreters. We had a lot of interpreters. They were all like very supportive of me and like helped me out with a lot of government stuff, legal stuff, passport stuff, all those things. And they were just there for me, not just helping me out, but they were just there feeding the machine for me. Those little things that kind of makes you feel like you're part of the team. And like those interpreters, they didn't need to work for me because I spoke Japanese, but I was there for 2.5 years, and like, they were there from day one all the way to the end. And like, so those guys really helped me out, and I'll forever be thankful for them.
I think it's all about the support system too. If you have good interpreters, good staff behind you, try to keep you as close to your routine that you're used to, it definitely makes you feel a little more comfortable. Also, just if you can get closer to your routine, it just makes it easier for you to feel more comfortable on the field and then perform like yourself. And then as you're performing and getting more comfortable with your teammates, it's just a full thing. I always played best when I was comfortable. So usually it was nice. I had that long spring training that I got to get to know players and get to know people. And I always played the best when I was relaxed and comfortable. So I need to be talking. Or whenever you're at first base, or I got to first base and you were at first, I have to talk. I just have. I enjoy getting to know people, and I enjoy just the camaraderie of baseball in general. So it is hard to get to that point when you completely go to a new country. That's for sure. The sooner you get there, the better the numbers and the stuff will be. But
yeah, I do think that like the opposite is also true too. Like I know a lot of your listeners are Japanese, and you see a guy like Ohtani go from Japan to the States, and obviously he's the best player in the world. But a guy like Roki Sasaki, very young, still in his first year in the big leagues, not having the season he wants. And I feel like we can relate to that, even though like we're in a totally different environment that he was in. But it's just hard, like you just don't understand it until you actually live it. So
it gave me a ton of respect for Ohtani when like I was like, there's no Japanese guy on our team. It was just him. And I didn't have that respect for it until I went overseas and was like, holy smokes, he did this completely alone. Like there were times when I was completely alone in the big leagues with the Lions. And I was like, this is hard. Like you can't really get a scouting report you can trust because you don't know if there's interpretation issue or like I don't know exactly what they're saying. Like when Mark Payton was up there, we could talk about like how the ball's moving, and you can't vent to people, especially when with the Japanese guys, they just are stoic. Like they get out and they're like, it's okay. I'll just go smoke a cigarette and I'm getting them back out there,
Hey, I don't know if that's what your team was doing, but that's not us, man. Like
sometimes you're like, I'm 0 for 3. I haven't caught a barrel in a week, dude. Like I got to figure this out. And then Mark's like, yeah, dude, like, let's figure this out. And like, you go back and forth. We're like, screw this, man. Like, we're going to figure this out. We're like, you just won't get that if you're not with your boys, So that was one part that was tough. But I have a question. You played for Shinjo. I thought Shinjo was hilarious. Just watching him, like he has some swag. He's got that seat, he sits on his throne.
He's got his custom face mask.
Face mask with the custom glasses. Usually even at night games, he's wearing the glasses because like you need to block out. I mean, future's bright, so you got to block it out. He knew the future was bright too. They're good this year, Talk about playing for Shinjo, please.
Yeah, I think, this is great because we just talked about, Japanese guys going to the States. Like, he also went to play in the States, played for the Mets, played for the Giants, and like just having a guy that experienced different country, different league and succeeded, having him as a manager was awesome just because he knew my struggles. He knew what I was going through. I didn't have to tell him anything. He just knew. With the fighters, he really had a close connection with all the foreigners. I'm going to include myself as a foreigner, but I think that's just because he lived it. Like we've talked about some of his struggles with the Mets organization off the field and how hard it was to live in New York and like that kind of eased some of my worries too when I started playing in Japan.
Yeah, which you don't really even see that side of Shinjo. Like the guy that I saw, I was like, this guy is just ridiculous.
Confident,
Like
just confident,
confident,
yeah.
kind of flamboyant. Down the right field line, there was like Shinjo's like, I don't even know. You remember that thing? I don't know what it was. There's like a
It's
place
down the left field line, yeah.
left field line. Yeah.
And yeah, if you hit it, you get like I don't know, I don't even know how much money you get, but you get money from Shinjo-san. You get like a pretty good amount of money.
That's funny. But no, also just like he made jerseys for you guys.
Yeah.
Remember that?
And they were
Give us the jerseys. I mean, they were horrible. But yeah, like let's hear your side of it.
yeah,
Well,
Gosuke, please throw your former manager under the bus for us. Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that like from a performance perspective, like the caller probably wasn't the best for hitting 90-mile-per-hour splitters. Yeah, I just think it's like what you said, like being comfortable, having fun playing the game. Like, the Fighters do it better than any other team in the league, and I think that's. I'm not sure if you felt this way, but Hokkaido being so far north, I definitely felt like we did things differently. Obviously,
your
from like
stadium was sick.
yeah, like stadium, marketing, business, on-field products, like things were different. And I think Shinjo-san was a big part of that, like having those uniforms, like having the little picture in left field, like stuff like that was was a pretty integral part to the Fighters' success. And I think that's also one of the reasons why they're succeeding right now.
Yeah. I should also make sure I should say this because Shinjo-san was not my manager, but Shinjo-san is Shinjo-san. So I'm sorry for the first couple. For all the Fighter fans out here, I'm sorry. Okay.
I hope all your viewers get on you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shinjo-san.
The
I'm
lack of
sorry.
respect
I'm sorry.
is just
lack of respect for him.
I respect that guy a lot. Like I respect, like he has developed that team.
And he's made it fun.
He's made it fun. It looks like it's fun. Obviously, there are times where like, oh man, why aren't they sticking to their guns? Like when we were both there in 2023, and the lineup would change a little bit more. But I've looked this year, and it looks like that lineup's pretty solid now. Like it's like, hey, our guys are our guys. We're rolling with our guys, whether you're struggling or not, and that's how it should be. Like once you have that group, it's like the Dodgers. Like you have that group, you're not going to move Mookie Betts out of the lineup or move him down the lineup when he's not hitting good. So I do wish that was the case more with my guy Gosuke, because I think if you give him a bunch of at-bats every year, he's going to do pretty good over there. Just throwing that out there. That was my only thing. Like Gosuke and Ariel Martinez sometimes didn't get as many at-bats as I wanted.
He deserves at-bats. I never deserved my
No,
at-bats.
you did. You turned on a home. Remember you hit a homer at the Seibu Dome off the foul pole, right? Remember that? That ball was smoked. It went right over my head, and I was like, "That's gonna be foul." And he just backspun it. It didn't go right.
I mean,
That was
your
sick
pitcher
swing.
just hit my barrel. Like you just gotta tell your pitcher to stop hitting my barrel. That's
I heard you were trying to foul it off, but you just caught that one. You know? yeah. I heard Shinjo-san told you, "Hey, we just need you to go grind down an at bat. I need 10 foul balls, okay, and then get Maname up for us."
yeah, and then it went off the pole.
That ball was smoked. That was a big homer too, wasn't it? Late innings.
Yeah, it was late innings. Yeah.
Came in. I actually remember everything. So I think you pinch hit.
I
And
pinch
you got
hit,
out
yeah.
the first time, and then you hit a homer the second at bat.
Yeah,
remember
I
that.
didn't know you remembered.
I remember a lot of things, dude. I have a pretty good memory.
Position players never have good memory, but like that's
I have one of the best memories.
Yeah,
I was telling Jasper, I remember pitch sequences for the entire year until the new year starts. So I remember exactly what pitch sequence they do every single at bat and how the ball moves, so I can like take it back for the next time I face them. Like
maybe
6
that's why
months
you
later.
did well in Japan. Maybe yeah.
Yeah, it probably is, dude, because I remembered all of
You
that
did.
stuff. Like I had dudes down for. We faced a dude in spring training. She's on Chibalote, Tanucci, and he threw me a slider first pitch and spring training, February, and I was like, damn, that's a hittable pitch, and I didn't swing at it. And I was sitting on that slider in May, and I hit a homer first pitch off the slider.
You're bad.
I was
That's
like,
wicked bad.
gosh, I'm glad I remember this stuff. It wasn't talent; it was mental fortitude.
Gosuke, I'm just thinking of this now because you're an NPB fan before you went over. You're a Fighters fan before you go over. how sort of awesome is it to have your own, your own song being played by the fans? Was that sort of a childhood dream of yours then?
Yeah, my childhood dream was always eventually end up in Japan, preferably the Fighters, and win a Japan title for the Fighters. But just all those games at the new stadium was just an incredible atmosphere, and Mac played in there. Like, he knows how good Escon Field is, and
It's the best. The lighting's unbelievable.
I do think that it's the best in Japan.
It's by far the best in Japan.
And I think it would be pretty high up there in terms of like stadiums in the big leagues too. Like, it's a big league stadium.
I think it's probably the best stadium in the world right now. Like, when it comes to just facilities and like the weight room, we had a sick weight room on the visiting side. We had a awesome sauna area. The locker room was better than anything that we experienced, I think, even in the big leagues. Like, I think it's the top tier of the big league stadiums. And then the light, that was the best I've ever seen in baseball. I don't know how they designed the lights, but like, I thought they were going to be kind of weird, and I thought it was going to be really bright out in center field with the glass windows out in center field. It was the best I've seen in baseball.
I do think that, like, I feel some similarities between Hokkaido and the Toronto Blue Jays, just because like we as in the Toronto Blue Jays, we're the only team in Canada. The Fighters are the only team in Hokkaido, right? So it's like, it is. I do think it's hard to get free agents. Well, first of all, in Japan, it's hard to get free agents. So like, you got to just try to lure them in with facilities, and like the Rogers Center is a lot nicer than probably when you played there. But yeah, it's like you gotta really step it up in terms of facilities to like get those players.
I went to the Rogers Center when I was younger, and it was okay. It wasn't anything crazy. Roy Halladay pitched actually the day it went, so that was cool. But looks really nice now. I was impressed with how clean it was walking around the stadium. Like, I've been to Fenway. Fenway's not clean. Fenway's historic, not clean. But yeah, it is.
And you got some hot takes today, man. Like,
I know.
He's always got hot takes.
Look. I mean, I grew up going to Fenway. I
can't wait to see these comments, man. Like,
I know.
it's gonna be a freaking battle down there.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, oh, you don't like Fenway?
Disrespecting our manager. You're hating on the most historic field in sports.
Have you ever watched a game at Fenway though?
No, never watched.
So like, when I grew up, like, I'd be like watching a game at Fenway, and we'd be in right field, and like, you're sitting straight, but your head's this way the whole time, because they designed the field so that all the seats face, for some reason, the green monster, and you're just turned this way the whole time. So
yeah, it's part of the experience. Jasper, can you please tell your co-host? No, it's just part of the experience.
Gosuke, you learn to deal with it. He just does this every episode.
Yeah.
It's part of the,
It's part of the Pacific Swings experience.
Well, I didn't get to finish. Okay, I didn't get to finish.
Okay,
Toronto is a sick city. Like, we went up there for vacation. It was super fun. And then Boston's also a sweet city.
Oh, now he's
You know?
backtracking. This is where he backtracks, yeah.
No.
Apologies, City of Boston, yeah. He loves you.
I love Boston. Boston is nice. I grew up there.
have you been to their visiting clubhouse?
One time. It's tiny.
It's tiny,
It's
but
like
like,
this big.
it's part of it.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, yeah, the reality is, like, it's historic. You don't have the room to make more space, you know? It's the 115 years old, you know?
Yeah.
The newer ones, they can make facilities a little better, but
I'm
the
such a
older
great
ones,
co-host. Like, now all the comments are going to be like, wow, David, so you're just saying nice things about Fenway. Like, that's
now they're going to be like, can we fire Dave? Can we fire Dave and just get Gosuke on?
Yosuke seems more politically correct and a bit more knowledgeable, had a longer MLB career. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we can do that.
I think so. We could do that. Yeah.
So do a new intro, Gosuke. Can you just welcome everyone to Pacific Swings? It's like, please subscribe.
Our guest today is Dave MacKinnon.